What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing something that's hopefully successful. If you're watching this video, that means the turnout was hopefully positive. But if you're watching this video, I might still post this just to see if I can get some points of direction or some ideas. So in front of me, I have a seat from a 2003 BMW 530i. I got it at Pick and Pull today. And the reason I picked this up is this seat is in really good condition. Let me shine some light on there. So it's perfectly formed. It doesn't have any weird lumps. It's got a bit of a lump here, a little bit of wear there, but nothing too crazy. And then the seat back here, nice and solid. And I basically picked this up because I figured, let me try, and I have an idea which might not work, but it might work. So I have a 2003 540i. Passenger seat is in even better condition than this, but driver's seat is a little bit worn, mainly because they had a twisted seat issue. This side was further left or further back, so they sat in it like that. So they completely smushed this piece in here, so that piece is all jacked up on mine. And then also it has some wear on the bolsters here. So I was looking at the seat, and on the bottom of the seat cushion, it has cutouts on the left and right side. They're identical. And I was looking at the position, and they seem to be identical from passenger side to driver's side. So what I'm going to attempt to do is pull out this cushion from this passenger seat and replace it in my driver's seat. And that should potentially give the shape back and bring it back to close to new quality. How do I put it? Just into a better form. It'll look good because this seat looks good. And I'll show you guys in a second when I pull mine out what mine looks like. But I figured I'd give this a shot. It's cheap. The seat was $60, which is pretty cheap for if it's successful, because you can imagine how much mint E90, or sorry, you can imagine how much mint 540 sports seats are, especially in black. I think some guys selling a set, which they're decent. Like the passenger side is like my side, it's perfect, but the driver's side on his is about the same condition as mine, and he's asking $700 just for the seats. So you can imagine how expensive these are, and I'm not trying to pay $700 for seats, especially when they're not, you know, in perfect condition. If they were perfect, I might pay $700, but not being perfect, it's just not worth it to me. So I'm gonna attempt this. The first thing I'm gonna do, obviously, is pull this seat apart, see how easy it is, see if I can even do it. I've taken the seat apart before, so it should be pretty straightforward. The only part I'm kind of worried about is the headrest up there. It has that motor up there, so I don't know how they get that out, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure it out and keep moving forward. So first things first, I'm just gonna take this apart, see how far I can get, and hopefully be able to get both these cushions off relatively easy. And if it is relatively easy, I will swap it onto mine. The other thing is, I know in newer cars, they have hog pins, which is like these little C-clips that you kind of grab the seat and grab the cushion and clip them together. So hopefully it doesn't have either too many or any at all. I'm assuming it's gonna have some. If it does have that, I'll have to buy some C-clip kits. But if not, we'll see. So first things first, gonna take some things apart and see if we can get this close to disassembly. So when you're actually at the junkyard and you find your perfect passenger seat, it's obvious that you're gonna probably wonder how you get it out. And the easiest way is to do something like this. So I have a simple Milwaukee battery. I put the positive and negative, I frayed them, I stuck them in the 2 pins, and now that's gonna give power directly to the seat, and we can move the seat using the controls there. On newer cars like E90, E92s, it is a little bit different. I've had issues in the past where I put just power straight to the seat and I blew the airbag. Thankfully, this has no airbags. It does have that, technically, that little airbag safety feature in the belt buckle, so that can fire and lock the belt buckle. But for some reason on these cars, every time I've tried, you just put power to these 2, positive and negative, the big ones, cut the rest out, and then you're good to go. So let me move this up real quick so you guys can see, and we'll put this in upward position. Okay, so we did that. So now we should be able to, there we go. Seat's moving. This is broken, but if we just press forward there, it comes up on its own. Which actually, when I press the seat, even works, because usually they have the twisted seat issue. So I'm probably gonna take the little wires out of this, put in the other seat. So yeah, as you can see here, worked pretty good. Okay, so most of the clips are like this. So as you can see here, you have these 2 tabs here, and these is going through the leather on both sides. I've already removed this side. So as you can see here, I just pulled back the tab to give it a little bit of, I guess, release some of the tension, and then pulled these out. This piece is just a little lip that clips there, and so forth. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep pulling on this. This side, same thing. I've released the tension from all these, and they all came off. And as you can see here, you see the openings there? This is where the switch controls are. And on this side, you have the same exact openings, right? So essentially, the foam should fit on my sports seat. And this one, because if I needed the actual seat, so for example, if this is already black, I might do that actually. Later down the road, because I want to do heated seat retrofit. But for the meantime, I guess it would be sick if I can get the whole thing off, because then I would just switch out the whole leather, right? And then make a mint black seat. But my black seat's in decent condition. So if I could just fix the foam for now, I'll be happy. And I'll look for a passenger black sports seat in the future and do the swap again, which would be possibly worth it because I can find a mint seat, and it would just make it even better. And like I said, I'll probably do heated seat by then. Just, you know, like I said, we're testing, see if this works. Hopefully it works. And yeah, so now you see what this look like. So I'm gonna keep taking off as many as I can and see how loose it gets and see how it goes. Got that bottom section off. It was 3 hog pins here. You see that little clip there, right there, and right there. Once you get those 3 off, the cushion itself comes off, resting right there. But there is hog pins in the cushion, so I'm gonna probably take them off carefully so I can reuse them because I don't have any new ones. And I think if I do that, I should be able to assemble it correctly. I'll show you guys that in a second. And then to get this off, you see this base here? This base goes through this hole here. So to get that off, there's 2 T40s. One there. And I have these finger loose, but I pulled them all the way out. And then the whole base comes off there. So now we're getting pretty close here. This part is really easy. I literally just pulled up on it and it came off. But you could see here how it has like some locking pins. So I guess if it was stuck, I could push on one of these and it would pull it up. But this one, like I said, I feel like it was supposed to lock, but I just pulled up and it came out. So to win there. And then unplug the harness. It runs around here for this motor. And now I'm gonna keep removing all these little clips here. And then we should be able to pull the seat off this metal rail. And then look to see how that goes. See if we can do it on the other seat. So far, I mean, this is like 30 minutes worth of time. So we're getting pretty far here. And I'm really excited because if the outcome is as positive I think it's gonna be, anybody can do this on their E39s and really bring back their cars to life. Because that's the main thing on these cars. These things are 22 years old, so a lot of the times the leather's just dead and dry, and usually they're twisted seat issues or tears or wear, especially with higher mileage ones. And like I said, mine used to be 180,000 mile interior, and it showed. I'll put a picture right here. But yeah, that thing was hideous. Like, I hated the interior, and it made me really dislike the car because it felt like an old piece of junk. Obviously, we got our nicer interior, but if you don't have the money, you know, because I'm not saying I paid for it, but if you can't find one or have the money to buy an expensive one, this is definitely going to be useful for restoring your interior for little to nothing. And also, if you're the guy that's struggling with these interiors, like if yours is beat up, replace the foam like I'm doing, and you get to just re-dye your interior, and it should come out pretty good. So that's another option. So let me just get back to pulling these off, and we should be able to rip this off pretty soon. Okay, so now we are done here. There was a lot of these, they're called hog rings, and they were connecting. These seats have like a metal little bar here, and you can see there where it was connected. This one's still connected to this too, and those connect to these spots here, which should be pretty easy to put them back together, because if anything I can slip it through one, probably through the seat, and then be able to grasp this because it's a big bar. And then once you do that, once you remove that, you're done, and you can toss that to the side, and you have your foam cutout that's left. And as you can see here, this thing is it's pretty perfect. No wear on the edges there, so it should go pretty good on my next seat. So now I'm just gonna remove the other section there and then go get my other seat. If it works out, I'm really excited for the rest of the world, because all E39 guys need some mint seats. And it's not like the newer cars where If you have a really beat up one, you just find a low mileage one that's getting parted out and you get front seats. No, on these E39s, the low mileage ones are just collector's items, and then they're starting to go for ridiculous amounts for the interiors and stuff like that. Like most M5 interiors, like $2 to $3 grand, which is, you know, for some of these cars, you bought them for less than that. So obviously, it's a lot to spend on interiors. So yeah, I'm excited. Looks good. So oh, it's just a little wrinkle. Let me get to the other section there and then get my seat in. Okay, here's the seat that we're gonna repair. This is the seat out of my BMW 540i E39. And as you can see here, it's not in the worst condition. It's not horrible, but it definitely has a lot of issues. For one is the twisted seat issue. The seat does twist. It doesn't, this side reclines. And here's the thing, if it wasn't working, I fixed it. I fixed this side, and then this side went out. So now I gotta fix this side. Thankfully I have that over there, so I'm gonna fix this for sure 100% right now, but that's kind of the issue there. The other thing is here. So here, nice gap. Here, I don't know if this gap is caused because foam deterioration, or maybe it starts to become dry, so it starts pulling that way. I'll figure that out. This side looks really good, perfect, but this side's a worn down side. As you can see, we're missing a lot of the foam there, so it's completely deteriorated, probably from just sitting on it. But this is the main thing. So look at this. See how wonky that is? That's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be more like this, uniform. So that definitely got sat in wrong too many times. So now it looks really ugly. So all in all, I'll hopefully be able to restore the foam, get it back to the good condition, and then it's a win-win because I'll have new foams in here, get that back, and then I'll be able to fix the twisted seat issue all at once. Okay, after about, I want to say 2 hours worth of work, disassembling was a lot faster, a lot easier, but assembling and trying to put the little hog clips back with regular pliers, I don't recommend it. If you're going to try this, just buy the pliers, buy new hog rings, and I think the process will be a lot quicker and smoother for you. That being said, we are done here. Here's the final result. It's very symmetrical now. Looks very good. Everything's still pretty tight. The only thing is I can still kind of see, like, see, this is like a perfect leather here. You see how it looks like really nice and just leather. And here it has those wrinkles. It looks a little beat up, but it is nice and up high here, so it does look pretty good. So for future reference, what I will probably do is keep my eye out for a mint passenger side M Sport seat. And then I think I would just swap over the cushions, because if I didn't have to remove the hog rings from the cushion, it's way easier. It'll take you like, how long would it take you? It'd probably take you like an hour to swap the whole seat over. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, especially since this part's still pretty kind of beat up. Like, it's all dry. It's not beat up per se, but it's dry, and I don't know how to bring it back. Especially when it's like kind of hard, and that upper section's hard. This bottom section is actually pretty soft still. But that being said, some of the things I noticed, like here, you guys saw how bad this side was. So it was flexed way over here. So what it did is it put a gap in this thing, probably from just leaning for so many years. And then also this leather seems to be a bit stretched out. So it's not perfect. Obviously it looks 10 times better, and I can live with this. And then the other thing is, same thing like I said on this side. It's just not perfect because it is a lot tighter. So I could either find that piece or just get a whole new seat. But regardless, this seat looks way better. And yeah, I'm still pretty stoked. And not to mention the fact that now we went ahead and repaired it. Oh, my jump pack disconnected. But yeah, the seat moves up and down, left and right. So that is very sweet. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to put it in and be able to have a functional seat that moves and feels good, and I'm not leaning to one side anymore, and it's nice and buckety, I guess you could say. So for 60 bucks, I'm not gonna complain. This was a little time consuming. My hands are a little sore here, but you get this condition of a seat for 60 bucks, which is quite a good deal. And I guess that's not fair, because if you had a really bad leather seat, I'm sure the leather would still look horrible, and some of the ones that kind of start to like tear, and as you can see here, a little bit of a gap here, but usually when they're really tight like this, the leather's good. I guess if you had one that was really stretched and weathered, it probably wouldn't be worth it for you. But now that you know how to do this, you can go ahead and buy a passenger side and make it your driver's side. And the passenger sides, they're very easy to find, let's be honest. I mean, you go to Pick and Pull, if they have any 03 or any M Sport or even just Sport, and you can find the front seats, the passenger side is always in pretty good condition. And sometimes even mint. Because some of these cars, you know, passenger is horrible, but the driver's side is still good. Like the car I got this out of, this side, the other side looked just like my seat, but the passenger side was perfect. So now I'm gonna keep an eye out for a black one, and I'll probably pick that passenger side seat up. And actually, fun fact, after looking at both of these frames, all you would have to do is take this passenger side buckle off, grab your driver's side, bolt it on here, and I think run the loom back to that side, and you're done. You have a passenger side, you have a driver's side seat. The only reason I didn't do it is because this is out of an 03, I believe, and this connector is different than the one I had. So in order to put this in, I would have to swap the whole harness, and the motors were a little different. You see these motors have simple clips, 3 clips, or 2-prong clips. The motors on the other one have 3. So if I wanted to use this frame, I would have to, I guess I could have left these motors, but I was afraid that this won't be the same, which it probably would be, to be honest with you. So I could have just assembled this again, but that's what I did. So what I did was, the only thing is I made the mistake. I just cut this to that. So if it wasn't for this, I probably would have kept the seat, but it is what it is. But now I know. So now if you guys run across a good driver's side, just the whole thing, 60 bucks at a Pick and Pull or I Pull, You Pull, grab it, swap it over, message me if you have any questions, and then get your driver's side looking a lot better. So yeah, pretty sick stuff. So I might even, now that I can take the leather apart and stuff like that, I'm tempted to try to dye my interior. I don't know if I'll do it for this interior, for example, because this is well, I'm gonna put this in later today, obviously, and show you guys. But this is a mint 03 M Sport interior, so I wouldn't risk dyeing this, but I might buy, you know, a gray interior for like 200 bucks or less than that, and try to dye that and see how that turns out. You do like a red, like a maroon red, or like a caramel, you know, kind of black on caramel, something like that. I'm thinking about doing that in the future, just because it'd be sick to make it a one-on-one interior. But like I said, I'm not complaining. This seat is looking 10 times better, and we're learning things, which is sick, because now, like I said, we can do plenty of things here, and you guys too, you can start, you know, restoring these E39s. So yeah, done for tonight. I'm gonna let this sit. I put some conditioner on it, let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow morning I'll vacuum out the carpet area I have, and then we'll get this thing in there, and we'll see how it looks inside the car. Hopefully the interior is looking really good with 2 nice, you know, good looking seats, and we'll see. So that being said, I'll catch you guys in the morning. All right, here's the after. So this cushion is out of my 540. As you can see here, this is where it wore away. I'm not sure if the person who had this before was like a big fellow, but well, I'm gonna say it wasn't a big fellow. I'm just gonna say that this is, you know, usual wear. And then for the rear here, as you can see here, this is where it was leaning to the side. It was literally like this. So it split up and it was holding like that. So this is where it was rubbing. And I'm not sure why it stayed like that. I figured it'd come back, but yeah, this is not me. This is how it came out. So that's why that side messed up. And remember, this only has 98,000 miles on it. So they're pretty clean, but they're just obviously beat up. And the same thing here. So as you guys saw, the ones we pulled out were perfect. No wearing. They look just like this one, just nice and smooth, and no issue. So all right, so here's the final result, ladies and gentlemen. Looks really good. This part, like I said, is nice and firm. This part feels a little loose there, but I think it's because there was like some sort of, there's like a 2-piece material in there supposed to keep it a little tighter, but it was ripped, so that's why it's not fitting the way it is. Also, I think just pulled back this way instead of this way, but that's obviously not a big deal because it doesn't look loose. It's just if you touch it, it might feel a little loose, but this piece feels good. This gap's closed a little bit. What else? This side feels really good. I know it might not look perfect on camera, but it feels really good, and when you sit in it, you definitely feel supported on both sides. And then this piece as well, brought it back to life. Still have a little bit of the wrinkles there and that gap there, but I'll fix that later because that's like probably $5-10 piece at Pick and Pull, and I'm sure any seat back will fit. It doesn't have to be sport. So yeah, definitely worth the 60 bucks. I do recommend you try this if you have seats that you think you want to recondition, or you just have a bad interior, or like I said, you can save money by going to your local pick and pull and junkyard and finding a passenger seat that's in perfect condition, because they usually are, and then just putting those cushions in your driver's seat, and then buying another one later when you find them and making it your passenger. So you can have two fronts that are near perfect, and never having to buy one of the expensive sets for, you know, a couple $100. So that being said, now my mind is wandering though. So now I'm wondering, and you guys can fill me in on this, can I buy comfort seats, non-sport comfort seats, and take the base off, put the comfort base down on to the seat, and then make comfort sport seats? That's what I'm wondering next, because obviously comfort sport seats are very expensive, especially on the used market, and they're hard to find. I don't even know where you can get them. I haven't looked into it very much. I don't know if it's like only like I know it's like a 7 Series thing, but I don't know, like a European thing or what. But I'm gonna look into that, because if I can get sports comfort seats made myself, I would probably do that on this car, just because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm hoping to keep this for a while, and I'm doing little things here and there to restore it. Next up for the interiors, obviously, like I said, I'm gonna try to get a new steering wheel. And I saw this guy on eBay. He sells them. He sells the sport ones, but he says that he ups the girth, so it's a little bit, the diameter around is a little bit thicker, which is nice. Like the newer cars, like the G80 and F80s, the M wheels on there, they're thick. They feel good. This is, I'm not sure which one this is. It doesn't feel very thick, so I'm sure I could get that one. And then also new carpets, because the interior is mint. I just want to get new carpets because these are kind of beat up, and they're a different color because they're kind of sun damaged. So new carpets, new steering wheel, and then that'll probably be it. I'll just keep on cleaning this up and restoring it, and obviously working on the outside. So let me know your thoughts on this. I'm hoping that somebody's gonna take this and be able to do something with it, this information. It's possible that there may be already tons of videos and forums out there. I made the mistake of not checking. I'm just glad I took my idea, tried it, and it worked. So I don't know if I'm pioneering this, but we did it, and hopefully you guys can do it too. That being said, thanks for watching. I know it was a little bit more of a boring video. It's more informative than anything, and my information wasn't very detailed, just because I was learning as well as you guys. But as you can see, here was the result, and for $60 at Pick and Pull for the seat cushions, I'm very pleased with the result. That being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.